Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 111 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills answers your table tennis questions. Today, we'll be discussing what we've been up to over the last week, the upcoming World Championships, plus we'll be answering your questions such as how to play against a fast player and what shot to play when someone returns your serve using the backhand side spin flick. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me to answer your questions. Welcome, Alois.
Thank you, Jeff. And yes, it's been a while. Jeff.
Yeah, it certainly has been a long time. In fact, let me just bring up some exciting updates. It's been so long, Alois, that
Yes.
that Brock has an exciting thing to tell us. He says, huge update. He says, I've played with the tall guy today. It was a gigantic battle between us, and I have never in my life been sweating that much before. But in the end, I won. Woohoo! Yes. Well done, Brock. I mean, how exciting is that, Alois?
That is exciting. Victory is finally yours. Yes. We knew the good days had come.
Indeed, the good days have come. Great to hear, Brock. Well done. All right, yeah, Alois. So, what have we been up to over the last week?
Oh, who knows? Who knows? Yes. So, initially, I was in Bendigo for the Para Oceania Championships. So I was there for that, and also at the same time there was the Oceania Cup on, and Jeff, you were involved with that too.
Yeah, certainly was. I went up there and did some commentary on the finals day, which was really exciting, working with the ITTF. And so, yeah, I'll put a link in the show notes where you can see some of the action from that day. It was really fun and great to be a part of.
And talking about seeing, Jeff, I think you need to turn your lights on.
Oh, yeah, a bit dark. Yeah, it's been so long, I don't know what to do.
No, we're totally out of it. It was a really exciting event overall. So with the Para Oceania event, that was the initial qualification event for the Rio Paralympics. So that was there was some exciting matches there, some exciting stuff. It's interesting. Whenever there's something big like that on the line, there's always something going to happen because players get nervous, other players lift for the occasion. So that was great. And the Oceania Cup, also a lot on the line, a place at the World Cup finals, and also quite a bit of money on the line, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. I think the prize money was up $5,000 from the previous year for a total pool of $25,000, which is great to see. But yeah, as you said, the winner, William Hensel, qualified and gets to go to the World Cup in October later this year. So that's very exciting for William.
Yeah, and in the women's, it was a good result for Australia.
Yeah, great result for Australia. With Zhang Feng Lei taking down Li Chun Li. They met in the final last year, Alois, and it was a real duel, went down to the wire in the seventh. But this time, Zhang Feng Lei came out and just played flawless table tennis and ended up winning 4-0. A real surprise to everyone because they always have such close battles, and everyone was saying, why don't they just start at 10-all in the seventh? But great table tennis from Zhang Feng Lei, and took the title. So, yeah, she's off to the World Cup as well. Very well played by Zhang Feng Lei from Australia.
And Li Chun Li, how old is she, Jeff? She's
over 50, yeah. Yeah, and Zhang Feng Lei is over 42. So that final had a combined age of over 90 years, Alois. So it just shows age is no barrier in table tennis.
Yes, and Li Chun Li has now lost the last 3 Oceania Cup finals. She will be devastated. And I think the previous two, so 2 years ago, she lost to Miao, and I think that was a deuce in the 7th. And then last year, as you said, lost to Zhang Feng Lei, deuce in the 7th. And this year, I don't know. Is it easier to lose when you lose 4-0 in a situation like that, or is it, or would you rather it go down to the wire and lose close in the seventh?
Oh, I think you'd rather go down to the wire and lose close in the seventh. At least you can tell yourself I was in it and I had a chance to win. I mean, so disappointing to lose those close ones though. But yeah,
I reckon.
when you look back, you'd prefer to lose close, I think.
Yeah, but the pain. I think the pain is more though, isn't it, when you lose those ones?
Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is, especially at the time. But I think, yeah, when you look back when she's stopped playing, if she probably never stopped playing, but yeah, she will have been proud to get so close anyway. And she has won the tournament before, I believe. So she is an Oceania Cup champion.
Yeah, true. And then I suppose moving on. So in the last week, then I've been up in Alice Springs. So Alice Springs is right in the centre of Australia. Really interesting place. Very different from any other places I've been and visited. The landscape is quite almost desert, but it's surprising. There's a little bit of an oasis there in Alice Springs, and a bustling little town. And I suppose the most exciting thing for me was the table tennis there, and to see how many keen people there were, and the committee that was working so hard to try to develop the game in Alice Springs. And I think, we talked, a little while ago about what makes a good club. And I think, just having a good group of volunteers that are willing to dedicate some time and effort and also be progressive. So thinking about how they're going to move their club forward. So yeah, that was really refreshing for me, and getting to visit some of the schools up there, some primary and secondary schools, and there's a big Indigenous community up in Alice Springs as well. So working in one school in particular that had a high Indigenous population, and just seeing what can be done, and how can we get table tennis to be able to help those communities as well. So yeah, really exciting time up there. And I got a message yesterday that there were a lot of new players in the hall. So that was really exciting for me as well.
Excellent. Sounds like you had a great time up there and promoting the sport, which is always a good thing to do.
Yeah, it was. And I had a chance to do some, climbing. Went up Mount Gillen. And I'm a little bit scared of heights, Jeff, but managed to get up there, climbing some rocks. So big thanks from me to all the people up in Alice Springs, people that organised it and the people that looked after me, and yeah, I had a great time.
Excellent. Good to hear. Now, the next exciting thing that's coming up, Alois, and I'm just trying to find it in our list here, is the 2015 World Championships.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting, and the seeds are out. So in Australia, it's only 4 days away. So starting on the 26th, and the seeding list's out. So for the men's, Ma Long number 1, Zhu Xin number 2, Zhang Zhique number 3, Fan Zhendong number 4. So the top 4 Chinese players, and that's so. I mean, it means that this field is strong, and I don't think they're going to let anyone else get a look in. So Jun Muzitani's actually ranked in at number 5 there. I can't see him winning it. I just cannot see, number 5 winning it. Ovcharov, maybe. Bol, love to think so, but I don't think so. Freitas at 8, has really come up, but again, can he get through? I mean, if you think about it, to win the World Championships, you're going to have to beat a Chinese player in the quarterfinal, semi-final, and final. So it's really tough. And let's not group the Chinese all together all the time. So let's have a think now about those top 4 Chinese players: Ma Long, Zhu Xin, Zhang Zhique, and Fan Zhendong. I would like to see Fan Zhendong get up, just for a little bit of new blood, and I think it'd be really exciting for the table tennis world to see him push through. What about you, Jeff? The men?
Yeah, I still like Ma Long for some reason. I'd like to see Ma Long win. I mean, we've seen Zhang Jike win the last two. Exciting player to watch. But yeah, I'd really like to see Ma Long get up and win. That's who I'm barracking for.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Zhang Jike will get up. I think he's really tough in these big situations. But yeah, Ma Long, and we haven't even talked about Zhu Xin, the number 2 seed.
Yeah, and he's been number one for a long time. I think Ma Long's only just overtaken him. So, he's been the informed player for a long time now.
Yeah, true. So, so I think it's open between those four. But after that, I don't think so.
No, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll keep an eye out, obviously, over the next over the next week once it starts, and keep you updated.
Yeah, and then in the women's singles, Ding Ning number 1 seed, Liu Xuwen number 2, Li Jiajie number 3, Feng Tianwei number 4. So Singapore player in there at number 4. A little bit of a chance, but again, Ding Ning strong, Liu Xuwen strong, Li Jiajie strong. I think it's any of those 3 really.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ding Ning. Stick with Ding Ning. I think she's the one to beat.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd like to see the lefty get up. Let's see. Let's see how that all goes. So yeah, so exciting over the next few days, just to see the preparations of these players. They'll be most of them will be there now in China or getting pretty close. So it's in Suzhou, which is very close to Shanghai. So yeah, it'll be a huge tournament. And the ITTF just announced yesterday as well that there's going to be 8 tables live streamed.
Yeah, that's really exciting news, isn't it?
Yeah.
So everyone can watch a lot of matches. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, so no excuse to not get onto ITTV. Jump on there, and watch these best players in the world. And even if it's not, these top 4 or 5, if you're playing at the World Championships, you're a good player, and there's something that you will be able to learn by just watching these best players play. So utilize that really great resource that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, on a separate note, Alois, you've been working on some secret tactics for the Aussies on how they can beat the Chinese, and we've got a bit of a video which we'll be releasing in the next few days, just on your thoughts about how the Aussies can beat the Chinese.
Mate, I thought we were going to keep this quiet.
Oh, we should keep it quiet, but I think it's time to let the world know about your secret plan.
Oh, it'll be released. It'll be released in a few days, Jeff.
Yep, indeed. So everyone, watch out till you hear Alois's tip on how the Aussies can beat the Chinese. Very exciting. All right. Well, let's move on. Alois still wants to keep that under wraps, so we'll keep that quiet for the moment. So, ages ago, when our last show was, Alois, the last PingSkills question of the day was: are choppers making a comeback? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and perhaps my thought is that just because of the new ball, perhaps there's just been a bit of an adjustment period, So we have seen a little bit of success from some of the choppers in the last couple of World Tour events, but I think overall, I still don't think the choppers can get to number 1, which I think is the real test. I think it's going to take a long time before the choppers can really reach number 1. Unfortunately, no. But we have seen some more exciting table tennis matches with some more choppers being present in finals and getting up there in these events.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think oh, getting some feedback again. I'll just mute you. There we go. Yeah, I think we've seen the choppers, more choppers, but they haven't been able to reach like number 1 or number 10. So I think we've seen, a few people succeed in Pro Tour events, and there's just been more talk about choppers. So I think they are making a little bit of a comeback, but nothing too major. All right. So let's move on to the PingSkills question for today, which is, what is your best win? So again, just jump onto our website, pingskills.com, click on the blog link, and you can leave a comment to let us know what is your best win. All right. So now it's time to get into some of the questions. And so first up, we've got a question from Osman, who says, hi, I have an opponent who is very fast. I mean, his technique is not very good, but his responses are very fast, so I can't find enough time to answer it. He plays simple, but very fast. What can I do against him, and what kind of techniques should I use?
Yeah, so I think the main things that you need to think about when you're playing against a player like that is to use a lot of variation. So the faster you play, often the more that they will like the game, because they can just utilize your speed and just block the ball back, start to outplace you. So slowing the ball up sometimes playing the ball fast is the real key against someone that's really good at blocking or really fast at with their reactions. So often that slow spinny top spin can be good, because that forces them to wait for the ball a little bit. If you can play that ball a little bit closer to the net, the top spin a little bit shorter on the table, forcing them to move in and out, again, can be good. The other thing is, if they're fast and if they don't attack themselves very much, then you can also think about using your push and just waiting for the right ball to make the attack. So variation of spin and speed is the real key when you're playing against someone like that.
Excellent. All right, good advice. So what I took from that, Osman, is vary your pace, vary your spin, vary your speed. The slow spinny top spin's a key shot, but also you can just be patient. You can just push around if they've got a great attack and wait for you to get the right ball to make your own attack. So try out those tips from Alois and let us know how it goes, Osman. All right, the next question is from Jeremy. And Jeremy says, hi, Alois. I had extreme difficulties in returning a spinny backhand side spin flick after my serve. I need your advice in how returning this shot properly once someone does that side spin backhand flick.
Yeah, so it can be awkward because the ball, I mean, we're used to the ball coming through with just straight top spin. So when someone does the banana flick at you, firstly, it's got a bit of side spin, but it's also going to feel like it's got a bit of backspin. Sometimes it might have a fraction of backspin, but it's going to feel like it's got some backspin because it hasn't got the amount of topspin that you're used to. So what you need to do is think about just lifting the ball a little bit, okay, and also adjusting for the angle of the side spin. So if the ball's coming off that way because of the side spin, you just need to adjust the angle of your racket slightly. And as I said, just try to lift that ball a bit. So the ball's going to come at you quite fast. You're just going to need to play a little bit more of a top spin ball on that, just even a short top spin to be able to lift that ball over the net. The other thing is to make sure that after you serve, and once you see them winding up for that backhand side spin flick, just make sure you give yourself a little bit of space from the table. So if you serve and stay too close, expecting the short push, then that deep fast ball will be really difficult to play. So after you serve, see them going for the winding up for the side spin flick, just move back a fraction away from the table, give yourself a little bit more time, and then play your top spin stroke.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, Alois. I think it's a shot that's sort of started at all the top players in the world seem to now be using it, and it seems to be filtering down into the lower levels, and people at the clubs are now starting to use it. But if you haven't played against it very much, it's totally different, because if you're just normally expecting just a normal flick or a push, this side spin one's different, and it spins and curls a bit. And so it's not an easy shot just to pick up straight away. You probably need a bit of practice to get used to playing against this type of stroke.
Yeah, I suppose it's a little bit like, trying to return serves for the first time, or, try to return spin serves for the first time. When someone serves flat at you, it's pretty easy, but, then you go down to a club or something and you encounter people that are starting to spin the ball for the first time. And initially, it's really daunting. The ball's going off your racket at all different angles. So, yeah, so it is that just that adjustment period, I guess, Jeff. Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Well, thanks for the question, Jeremy. Next up is a question from Romeo, who says, after I topspin a backspin ball, should I jump back once where I can topspin the block, or twice where I can counter topspin? If I jump back twice and the opponent blocks the ball, how do I topspin it to them? Oh, hold on. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So I think, ideally you don't jump back at all. So you can make that topspin off the backspin there, and then stay there in that nice balanced position and just play your next topspin from there. If you're moving back, you're just conceding a little bit of time and space at the table. So I think make your topspin, stay close, and then just come over that next ball if you can. I mean, if you are really struggling with the pace of that and it's coming onto you too quickly, then you can think about moving back a fraction. But yeah, try to stay where you are. So make your topspin and then back ready in that nice balanced basic stance.
Yeah, I think that's good advice, Alois. But one thing I noticed, and I've heard you talk about a lot, is that there's a difference between that first topspin against the backspin and the second topspin against the block ball. And I think because the first one's with backspin, the next one comes back with a bit of topspin, you have to play a slightly different stroke. And maybe that's why some people find it easier to step back. But it's probably better to stay where you are and just alter your stroke a little.
Yeah, it is. It is an awkward adjustment. So it's something that we see a lot of players have trouble with. So after you make that first topspin, the adjustment for the next topspin can be difficult. But I don't think it's a matter of giving yourself more time. I think it's just a matter of making the adjustment to do your normal topspin against block. So on that next ball off the block, if you think about it, if they're just blocking to you, you'll make that topspin 5 or 6 times in a row. But the adjustment from the lifting to the topspin can be quite awkward, just because it's a small adjustment, and you need to change from being a little bit more vertical to a little bit more horizontal. So, but I think stay there, and I think by not moving back, you're actually giving yourself a little bit more time and a little bit more stability to be able to play that next one.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, Romeo, try that. Play the first toss in and try and stay where you are and just come a little bit more forward on your next stroke. All right. Now we've got a couple of questions here from Brock, who had his breakthrough win recently. Well done, Brock, beating the tall guy. He says, what happens if I try to do a normal smash on a heavy backspin? He says a heavy backspin or a top spin.
Yeah, so firstly, if you're going to smash the ball and the ball's got a lot of backspin, the ball is going to still drag down a little bit off your bat and into the net. So one, you need to adjust for that. So you could either just open the angle of your bat a little bit, or you could still just topspin that ball, even though it's up nice, really high with backspin. You could still just topspin the ball a little bit to lift it over the net. So that's an option. If it's got a lot of topspin on it, then it's a matter of smashing down. So just allowing for that top spin and turning your bat over. So it's a lot about just the angle of your racket. If it's heavy backspin, then you just open up the racket a fraction when you make your smash. If it's heavy topspin, then you can close the angle of your racket slightly.
Excellent. And then on a fairly related question, he's also asked, do you know how to loop the ball when the ball is low below the table with both side spin and backspin on it? And I guess, Alois, with this, you're probably out of position and it's not an easy shot to make if you've let the ball drop below the table and it's got backspin and side spin on it.
Yeah, you need a little bit of touch when the ball's that low. So, you could either just push the ball back, or you could really lift that ball with some heavy topspin yourself. So even though the ball is really low, you can still lift it up, and it's almost becomes a bit of a lob. But if you put a lot of topspin on it and get it deep on the table, then you're a little bit of a chance. So I think we've got a video on that, Jeffrey.
Okay, we'll have to find it and put it up. And then the last question from Brock, Alois, is, do you know some tips against an aggressive, powerful attacker with scary forehands and backhands? I try the forehand push, but he always does a forehand flick, and if it's long, he does a forehand topspin. What should I do against this type of game?
Yeah, so basically trying to keep the ball short and low is good. If he's got a really good flick, I mean, if you're able to keep the ball low enough and short enough, or low enough, then it's always going to be difficult for them to make that flick. But then you could think about just varying your pushing. So not only just keeping it short, but sometimes digging the ball long, keeping them off balance, so that you make it a little more difficult for them to make the flick or the top spin. So they need to adjust between the two as well. Sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Alois. The other thing that is good is if you can make the attack first, I guess. Stop them from attacking in the first place.
Yeah, that's right. If you can stop them from attacking, then the game becomes completely different, doesn't it, Jeff? That's a really good point. So, if they give you a long ball, make the attack, and then the game opens up for you in a whole different way.
Indeed. All right. Well, that wraps up show 111. Good to be back. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Make sure you check out PingSkills.com. Sign up for our free newsletter. We've got lots of great tips for you. And we'll be back tomorrow with another show. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Alois.
Thanks, Jeff. Good to be back. Good to see the PingSkillers there online and watching. And we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Indeed. See you, everybody. Bye.